What is going on, everybody? I go by the name of Kari, and I want to thank you guys for joining me here today on SneakerPhetish. If you're a sneakerhead, then you know that we just celebrated a national holiday known as Air Max Day. And in commemoration of Air Max Day, Nike blessed us with 3 regionally exclusive Air Max 1s, one of which we're taking a look at today. But the question is, was this the best one out of the pack? And have we kind of seen this already done before? Without further ado, let's get into it. Boom. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Nike Air Max 1 blueprint. First of all, before we even get into the shoe, we got to get back to the packaging. What is this? Like, seriously, like Nike, like, what is this? Like, really, we got an orange, a regular orange Nike box. I don't know what kind of shoe is in it. This is supposed to commemorate the 35th anniversary of the classic, iconic sneaker that changed the face of sneakers and track and field as we know it forever. And we got a regular Nike box. You guys gave us a special edition box for the Nike Tailwind 79. Why couldn't we get a special commemorative box, some kind of special packaging for the Air Max 1 blueprint, in homage to such an amazing sneaker? It boggles my mind. And anyway, this is the box. This is all we get. Let's get into the shoe. All right, starting with the upper of the sneaker here. Now, there's 2 things that really stick out to me when it comes to this sneaker in particular: the quality of the materials and the colors and the way that they put the colors on there. Now, first things first, you have the classic, the iconic Air Max 1 silhouette. We've seen the Air Max 1s being done all throughout 2022 now, commemorating the 35th anniversary, once again, of the design and release of the original Air Max 1. And so we just got done talking about the concepts pack, which is incredible. Now we have this incredible pack for Air Max Day. And with these blueprints, we have this incredibly premium leather and suede material here. Premium white leather going around the collar of the sneaker. You have this really nice, soft leather that's in the quarter panels of the shoe right here. Not white, kind of a grayish, some people may call it elephant leather, but it feels really, really nice to the touch. Now that's accented by the blue suede going all around the sneaker, starting up here at the eyelets, of course down in the heels right here, and down right above the midsole. In addition to that, you also get that nice suede around the toe box and on the mud guards of the shoe as well. Really nice materials, very premium, worth the $160 in my opinion. Let's talk about the swoosh a little bit. Before we dig too deep into that, I just want to let you guys know that the big thing that I really love the most about this sneaker is how many little Easter eggs were in it. When I first saw it, first impressions, I guess I'll say at this point, I was like, it's plain. It's really plain. But when they started breaking it down and when they did things like behind the design on the sneakers app, I realized that this sneaker is actually a lot more than meets the eye. Starting with the swoosh on the lateral side of the shoe. Now, of course, at first glance, it looks like it's just a regular blue swoosh, but this actually rubs away to reveal what's actually already revealed on the medial side of the shoe on the swoosh, which is just a transparent, clear plastic swoosh here that reveals grid lines that represent graph paper underneath. Of course, tying in with the blueprint theme has to do with going back to the blueprint, which in this case, the theme is graph paper, the paper that was used back in the day by people like Tinker Hatfield, the original designer of the Air Max, when they used to actually sketch sneakers out on graph paper. That's really how they used to do it before computers took over and a lot of things were 3D generated and 2D generated and all that other type stuff. They use graph paper, and to this day there are still some people that are purists like that still go back to the sketch pad. And they actually double down on that when you take a top-down look at the shoe here. The toe box having that mesh nylon netting here going up from there. You also see the synthetic kind of reptilian leather right here, right underneath where the laces are at the top of the toe box. But moving up from there, you have the premium white leather tongue and the clear tongue tag looking a lot like the swoosh on the medial side of the shoe, with those same grid lines looking like graph paper underneath. Let's talk laces on the blueprint Air Max 1. 3/26, the date, of course, that represents Air Max Day, but on the lace tips, you actually notice that these look like pencils. Another little Easter egg here that I loved. The other lace tip actually looks like a little different color, kind of like a white lace tip and then this brownish lace tip as well. Both have 326, both made to look like pencils with that black on the very tip of the lace tip, of course, representing the lead. Really, really dope touch. Now, you're also gonna get an extra set of white laces, but these don't have the same embellishments on the lace tips. I don't even think that they say 326 on the laces either. So you can get the regular set of white laces, or you can keep it with the powder blue 326 special edition laces. I'm pretty sure that most people are probably gonna be like me and keep these laces in the shoe. These are really, really dope. I love the Air Max Day Air Maxes because they always have some little touch of 326 on them. My favorites, of course, probably being the OG model that had 326 on the tongue. Still never got my hands on that pair, but I would love to get them one day. Now, this is where the shoe starts to get fun. First of all, the midsole, looking like a kind of off-white, sail-colored, almost vintage-looking midsole. I have vintage in my mind all the time because it feels like all the sneakers that we're getting from Nike have some sort of vintage element to them. So they gave us that, not a pure white midsole, but that kind of sail-colored midsole. Glow-in-the-dark outsole, complete glow-in-the-dark outsole, and glow-in-the-dark airbags on the Blueprint Air Max 1 as well. I mean, when we're talking design embellishments, this is one of the flyest design details I think that we've seen in quite a while, especially on the Air Max 1. Love the fact that they made these glow in the dark. That just really sets it over the edge for me. And on the insole, blue insole, of course, representing the Blueprint theme, but this actually gives us a specced out look at the Air Max, but it's even a little bit deeper than that. Of course, it says designed in 1987 in Beaverton, Oregon, created for the future of sport, but we get kind of a layer by layer look of the original Air Max, starting with the upper, going into the Air technology, the outsole. But the dope part about it is that underneath that, you'll notice that this is the state of Oregon with Beaverton kind of starred in there. It kind of reminds me of the Tailwind 79 shoebox. And underneath that, you see the United States. And then underneath that, of course, you see the world. So this kind of represents the evolution of the Air Max 1, how it started with a concept, it got specced out in Beaverton, it took over the country, and then eventually took over the world and became the global phenomenon that it is today. Now, that's also why I held off on showing you guys the back of the shoe. On the heel here, you'll notice that there's that same graphic here, that globe graphic on the back underneath the Nike Air stitched on the back of the shoe itself. So it doubles down on the fact that the Air Max 1 really has become a global phenomenon of a sneaker. And honestly, Nike ain't never lied about that. The Air Max 1 has been worn by so many different generations, so many types of people from so many different colors, ethnicities, nationalities, and everything like that. I mean, it really doesn't get more iconic than that. And that's pretty much it when it comes to the Air Max 1 blueprint for Air Max Day 2022. Now, we've talked about how good the sneaker is, how nice it is, how many Easter eggs it has in it, but I'm gonna be real with you guys. This one was probably my least favorite out of the entire pack. I know that people tend to be split about the 3-pack of sneakers that dropped for Air Max Day around the world, but the blueprint honestly was kind of my least favorite, and here's why. Starting with the pack itself and the different drops that they did globally. Number one, we had the Wabi Sabi Air Max 1 that was exclusive for the Asia Pacific region. Now, the Wabi Sabi was really, really fly in my opinion. Not only were the colors, I think, better just for what I like, but the idea behind the Wabi Sabi I thought was actually a little better idea than the blueprint idea. If you're not familiar, the whole concept and philosophy behind Wabi Sabi actually stems from Buddhism, which makes sense why it's kind of centrally located over in the Asia Pacific Union. But Wabi and Sabi actually go together. Wabi is its own philosophy that focuses on the beauty of imperfection, and Sabi is its own philosophy that leans into how beautiful things are the more that they age, the more that they patina, the older they get, the more beautiful they become. So those two things together were actually shown throughout the Wabi Sabi Air Max 1. It looked a little unfinished. It looked asymmetrical. There were loose threads in it. It looked like there were cracks in the midsole. They looked really, really good. And I love that storytelling behind the shoe too. Then you had the European exclusive La Ville Lumiere Air Max 1, which actually stands for the City of Lights, which have to do with the city of Paris, France. That was a women's exclusive Air Max 1. Really, really dope. Had these iridescent colors all over it. The hang tags were really nice silver charms that said 326 and had the sneaker on them. Very, very well done sneaker. Paris is still a place that I've never been to before that I would love to visit, so I think they knocked that one out of the park. And then for North America, we got the blueprint. And again, I'm not saying that it's a bad shoe. This sneaker, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give it about a 7.5. Like, it's not bad, but it's not great, and it ain't no Wabi Sabi. The concept is good. It's a good concept about the origins of the sneaker, about the blueprint. It incorporated the graph paper. All that's well and good, But Nike's already done this before. Let me explain. In 2019, just 3 years ago, we got an Air Max 97 and an Air Max Plus that was known as, surprise, surprise, the graph paper pack. And that pack actually included this kind of a sketching of the word Nike on the side of the shoe, and on the insole of the shoe, it actually had grid lines like graph paper in it. So we had already kind of seen that before, but let's double down on that and go all the way back to 2015 when we got the Nike SB Dunk Low graph paper, which not only the entire sneaker looked like a big piece of graph paper, its colors were white and blue. So we've seen this idea before. We've seen a sneaker that was primarily white and blue that was made to look like blueprints or graph paper. We've seen that in 2015. Then we saw it again in 2019 with the graph paper pack. So this doesn't really feel like an original concept like the Wabi Sabi does or the Paris exclusives do. This feels like a do-over that we've seen time and time again. I mean, my goodness, Vans even came out with a graph paper pack. Now, the thing that I think saves the sneaker is the fact that they do have some more Easter eggs in it, the lace tips that look like pencils, the insole talking about the shoe itself. So those things are pretty nice. But honestly, I'm really not even a fan of the way that they did the blue on the shoe. I would probably like the blues to be a little bit different. That's just me being nitpicky, but it's sneakers, so everybody's nitpicky. But I don't know, man. It's just, it falls a little bit flat for me, especially when I know that there are other concepts that were done for Air Max Day that, in my opinion, were executed better. So chances are I might be trading off or selling these to get my hands on that Wabi Sabi. But now it's time for you guys to sound off down below and let me know what you guys think about the Air Max 1 blueprint. Are you guys feeling these? Which ones were your favorite out of the 3-pack of the Air Max Day pack? Did you like these, the Wabi Sabis, or did you like the La Ville Lumieres? Let me know. Of course, write down in the comments. Make sure that you click on that subscribe button so we can welcome you into the Sneaker Fetish family to make sure you don't miss out on any more heat that comes through like these, because I guarantee you I got a lot more heat on the way. As always, I want to thank you guys for joining me here today on Sneaker Fetish, taking a look at these with me, unboxing them with me for a couple of minutes. I go by the name of Kari. This is the Nike Air Max 1 blueprint for Air Max Day 2022. And until next time, I'm out.